Well, a Carthage man is rushed to the hospital after suffering multiple gunshot wounds late Tuesday evening. Carthage first responders were called to the 400 block of South Orner Avenue around 9:40 p.m. yesterday for reports of gunshots. Upon arrival, they found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds. Now, despite his life-threatening injuries, the man was talking to first responders before being transported to Mercy Joplin. While the investigation is ongoing, there is a suspect detained at this time, and police believe this was an isolated incident as both parties know each other. We'll have more information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, as it becomes available. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, strong winds brought down multiple power poles on Hazel Avenue between Airport Drive and Fur Road in Jasper County, forcing a road closure and causing a power outage in the area. Now, authorities had urged drivers to avoid that area while repairs were underway, but Carthage Water and Electric says all pole repairs have been completed and normal traffic has resumed on Hazel Avenue. And the National Weather Service highlighted flood safety yesterday during Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Local first responders offer ways to stay safe amid flood risk. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
This time of year, our weather can be very unpredictable. We can get large amounts of rain in a very short period of time.
Alan Brown, the chief of 4-state search and rescue, knows just how dangerous flooding can become, as he's responded to many flood-related emergencies around the 4-state area.
I remember was down around the Neosho area, and we were able to pull a family out of a car that was almost completely submerged in water.
He says those moments are some that he'll never forget.
It's hard to forget the look of relief on somebody's face when you pull them out of that situation.
And while he was able to save some lives, he says that's not always the case.
For somebody to be in a situation that it turns into a recovery, and we realize that can be the reality sometimes. Our hope is that we can make it a rescue before it becomes a recovery.
The fire chief for the city of Miami and his team often respond to flood-related emergencies. Chris Chenoweth says with a flood-prone city, their department is familiar with water rescues.
Pretty quickly, we can lose access to several thousands of our residents. So State Highway 125 will flood, and that adds 5 or 6 minutes at least to our response time to the south end of town. So when you're in an emergency, that 5 or 6 minutes could be super valuable.
The fire chief says sometimes floodwaters can be a bigger risk than people realize. He says it only takes a couple inches of water on the roads to cause an emergency.
6 inches of water is all it takes to knock you off your feet. So if you start walking across flood water and it gets, has washed the road out and you're driving, then you're in trouble before you can do anything.
And it only takes about a foot of water to sweep away an average car. He says if you're driving and you do happen to come across floodwater,
turn around and go back home and wait. Don't ever drive across the water.
Reporting in Miami, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, according to weather.gov, floods kill more people in the U.S. each year than any other thunderstorm-related hazard. And Miami residents will soon have a chance to learn more about a proposed bioprocessing project near Quapaw. Argo Development Partners, along with the Miami Area Economic Development Service, will host an open house for the Oklahoma Bioprocessing Project. Now, the open house will provide an overview of the project, which aims to convert poultry litter into renewable natural gas and fertilizer, as well as give the public a chance to ask questions. The open house will take place Tuesday, March 11th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Miami Civic Center. And as the weather warms up, some experts in Joplin want to remind you that more motorcyclists will be hitting the roads. Now, the Missouri Department of Transportation reported 133 fatalities involving motorcyclists last year.
All the way around, making sure you're looking over your shoulder whenever you're going into another lane. Most people just look in their mirror and think that they're good. With motorcycles, it's a lot different, so you're going to have to check your blind spots a lot more often when you're switching lanes. Just make sure you're looking out for everybody and not speeding.
With road conditions, adjust your riding based on road conditions with weather. But just the main thing is just to be aware that cars don't care about you. They won't see you. So just ride like you're invisible, because to them you are.
Now, according to MoDOT, most crashes happen in urban areas. However, most fatal incidents happen in rural areas. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. YouTube is updating its policies related to online gambling related content. Plus, President Trump outlines his second-term vision in his speech to Congress. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, YouTube is cracking down on some types of gambling-related content. The platform said Tuesday it will no longer allow content that directs users to unapproved gambling websites through links, images, text, or verbal references. Now, this builds on an existing YouTube policy that prohibits linking to external sites that violate its rules. YouTube also said it will begin age-restricting content that promotes online casinos, so it won't be viewable to users under 18 and those who are not logged in. The platform said it plans to begin enforcing the updated policies on March 19th. And in another sign of stress on America's economy, Target is warning about consumer spending and the impact of tariffs. On Tuesday, the retail giant said consumer confidence is declining. It said its sales declined in February and it expects sales to only grow around 1% this year. The company also said tariff uncertainty will impact profit this quarter. Target's CEO also warned prices of fruits and vegetables could go up this week due to the tariffs on Mexico. Target's sluggish results come after Walmart, America's largest retailer, recently warned 2025 would be a rocky year. And last night, President Donald Trump gave his vision for his second term in a nearly 2 hours long speech before a joint session of Congress. Now, the president's theme was renewal of the American dream, as he touched on key issues like immigration, national security, and the economy. Now, the speech was praised by his fellow Republicans and blasted by opposing Democrats, one of which is facing possible discipline after he was removed from the chamber. Natalie Brand has a look at how the night unfolded and the reaction.
President Donald Trump got a rousing reception from Republicans.
America is back.
From the Democrats, there was dissent. Texas Congressman Al Green was escorted away just minutes into the president's speech.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum.
During his speech, the president asked Congress for more funding of border security.
Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay.
He doubled down on cuts to the federal government.
I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Following Friday's clash, President Trump played up a new letter from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer.
The president also announced that one of the suspected planners behind the 2021 bombing attack that killed 13 U.S. service members outside Kabul airport in Afghanistan has been arrested. The economy was the main topic of the night. President Trump defended putting new tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China, and he pledged to put reciprocal tariffs on other countries next month.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that.
Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin delivered the Democratic response.
America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way.
A CBS News poll showed that a heavily Republican audience approved of the president's speech. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, overnight, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said the administration will announce some modifications to those tariffs against Canada and Mexico as soon as today, though they are not planning to eliminate the tariffs. Now, Canada and China have already announced retaliatory measures against the U.S. tariffs, while Mexico has also pledged to take action. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got a few snow showers, as I mentioned, out there on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, but really not much left. Skies will begin to clear a bit as we head into the afternoon, and it will be very windy out there. Another look at your forecast when we come back.
Well, when kids at one Connecticut school go to the cafeteria this week, they'll be able to make a meal using a first-of-its-kind machine that represents an unlikely marriage between high tech and salad. Frank Recchia has the story.
33-year-old Keoma Steele is the director of nutrition for Bridgeport Public Schools.
So I've always wanted to be a chef.
The proud culinary school grad worked as a chef in private schools throughout New England.
I really get the chance to be innovative.
Before coming here, where he's in charge of making sure 20,000 kids are putting their best feet forward nutritionally.
I enjoy what I do.
We met up with him here at Fairchild Wheeler.
This is a great opportunity, a great journey, because a lot of the students here, they do not have a chance to get a healthy meal.
Today, that journey took us inside the kitchen servery.
I think this is the coolest machine I've ever seen.
Where Keoma showed off.
I think healthy food is not healthy if it's being thrown in the garbage.
The new ServU touchless refrigerated slide-in.
So I'm gonna make a mixed green salad with cucumbers. So I'm gonna get some romaine lettuce.
What's marketed as a first-of-its-kind touchless salad bar. So whether you're getting spring mix,
some spinach,
or sunflower seeds, none of the ingredients, which are kept at a uniform temperature,
so I'm looking for lettuce,
to enhance food safety, are ever touched or otherwise exposed before kids in this post-pandemic era end up eating them.
It's a healthier option compared to old school salad bars because of cross-contamination.
And Bridgeport Public Schools are the first in the Northeast to get the machines. For Keoma, getting them up and running marks the successful completion of a major mission. You could say the lettuce has landed.
Seeing a touchless salad bar, I would make a salad just to see. And you never know, you may actually make that salad, that's your lunch for the day, you eat the salad and realize I actually enjoy making a salad.
Now they're testing out the new system with the goal of eventually rolling it out to all schools in their district. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've still got the very gusty winds out there, and these winds could be damaging as we continue through the afternoon. Another look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:23 now on this Wednesday morning. Taking a look downtown Pittsburgh. The camera really shaking now. Again, the gusty winds continuing. They will continue to be gusty throughout the majority of our day today. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Again, looking pretty good. We've got those cloudy skies. The traffic lights shaking here pretty well. And we're talking about that potential again for the damaging wind gusts. And that's really the big story of today. We're going to be chilly. We're going to be below normal. And that, being cold is no fun. But these winds we're talking 50 to 65 mile an hour wind gusts today. So like yesterday where we saw damage to power lines, we can see that same situation. We could have tree branches falling on the power lines. We could have any number of situations. So you need to prepare for power outages. Additionally, if you're driving a high profile vehicle, make sure you're extra careful with these gusty winds, and even smaller vehicles are susceptible to these winds. Outside of that, those skies will begin to clear. And some of our far western counties, you might get a little more sunshine for a little bit longer than those your neighbors to the east, so you might be a little warmer, but again, all of us still below average. And some good news, late this evening, say like after 9-10 o'clock, the winds will ease up. They'll become light and variable, if not calm overnight, which will be nice. It'll be a nice break. As we head to tomorrow morning, it's another very cold start to the day. Clouds will increase. Winds increase again, but not as significantly. They'll be out of the southwest with occasional gusts up to 20, but it's also going to bring in more warm air for us as we start a nice warming trend. Again, a reminder, we do have the high wind warnings in this sector here. They run through 6 this evening. Out here, they're through 9 a.m. Wind advisories, Oklahoma and Arkansas through noon. And then into southwest Missouri, they run until 6 o'clock this evening as well. And that is, again, anywhere within this whole region. 50 to 65 mile an hour wind gusts. I know I've said that a lot, but it's serious. These winds can be damaging, and you need to be prepared for that. Still a few winter weather advisories remaining. Now, they run until 9 a.m., but we also saw a number of them to the west there get canceled not long ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if those got canceled as well soon, because the snow, what little bit there is on its way out. We're going to be through the 30s in the morning. Cloudy skies out there, mostly cloudy through the morning. Starting to get a few peaks of sunshine. Then we'll start to see those clouds gradually clear out from west to east. Temperatures for most of us, low mid 40s. And again, those very gusty northwest winds. Break from the winds overnight. Clear skies by the evening hours and back into the upper 20s tonight. Be a little warmer tomorrow, low to mid 50s, and then by Friday, it's still going to be breezy Thursday night into the first portion of Friday, and then by late Friday morning, early afternoon, those winds will ease up. A beautiful day out there. A little cooler, maybe some rain on Saturday, and then skies clearing back out. Temperatures warming back up as we head into the next work week. Maybe some additional showers by next Wednesday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the world's ability to grow food could be devastated by climate change. A study by Aalto University found up to a third of the world's food production could be imminently impacted by rising temperatures, including staples like rice, wheat, potatoes, and soybeans. Now, the biggest risk is to low altitude regions. And doctors are trying to debunk some common myths about HPV and cancer. Now, a study out of Ohio State University showed most people don't realize the HPV virus is actually more common among men than women and is linked to not just cervical cancer, but also several cancers that impact men as well. Additionally, not enough people are aware that the HPV vaccine reduces the risk of infection by 90%. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, students at Pitt State got a look at their potential futures at the annual Spring Career Fair.
And we've got a very windy day ahead of us and temperatures below normal. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a Fort Scott club serves up a Fat Tuesday tradition for more than 100 years.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It's March the 5th, and it is going to be a cold and very windy Tuesday out there. So,
yes, I've already had my fair share.
Just
driving here this morning.
Same here. And that's the other thing is even low-profile vehicles are susceptible to these kinds of wind gusts across the region. And we've been listening to it on the roof here. And there's, like I said earlier, there's a garage door back there. And boy, you should hear it just. Thankfully, you can't hear it at home.
Yes.
But if you could, it's a little spooky.
It might annoy you.
Catches you off guard. Yeah, catches you off guard from time to time. But the other side of this though is these are still again potentially damaging wind gusts across the area. We've already seen damage from them. We could see more today. Let's start with a live look downtown Pittsburgh, and we got the winds. They are blowing pretty hard out there. That camera's been rocking back and forth. We still got cloudy skies, and we'll eventually start to see some clearing take place. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line in Joplin. Again, cloudy skies out there, and the traffic signal itself still just rocking and rolling. So here's the deal. We're talking wind gusts today across the entire area out of the northwest, anywhere from 50 to 65 miles an hour. Now, yesterday they brought down some power poles around the Carthage area. These winds could lead to additional damage to that extent, or just potentially to additional power outages in some locations. So make sure you're prepared for that today. Now, the other side of it is it's going to be well below normal. Our temperatures hanging out in the the 40s. Again, we should be about the mid-50s. But again, the skies will begin to gradually clear out there, so we'll get to see some sunshine today. And then later this evening into the overnight, the winds will give us a bit of a break. They'll ease up for us. Temperatures this morning, cold, but at least we're all into the 30s. 30 in Iola as the cold spot, and outside of that, we go low-mid 30s across the region. So kids get on the bus, probably want that jacket. It's definitely going to feel colder. Low 30s, northwest winds sustained 30 to 35, and those gusts 50 to 65. When they come back home, partly cloudy skies, 44, northwest winds 25 to 35, and those gusts 50 to 65 still. Again, it won't be until 9, 10 o'clock in some instances in which the winds will really ease up. Now, once we get about 6, 7, they'll start to let up a bit, but they won't calm down a lot until we get later tonight. Highs, again, below normal, most of us going low to mid 40s. We are going to warm up tomorrow. It's still breezy tomorrow, but not nearly as breezy. We'll talk about that and some other rain chances down the road here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, Pittsburgh State University hosted its annual spring fair yesterday. Recruiters from a variety of industries gathered at the Plaster Center to connect with students of all majors and classifications. Now, the Office of Career Development organized the event to give students the chance to network, explore internships, and pursue job opportunities. And for event organizers, networking is the name of the game.
All in one room. It takes out the part of going to employer to business to business. They're all in one location where they can make those connections and multiple multiple connections.
Now, 140 companies participated in the event. And yesterday, the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce invited the public out to experience the flavors and charms of Italy. The chamber hosted a Taste of Tuscany, an event featuring Tuscan cuisine, Italian atmosphere, and great company. The event also served as a way for the chamber to promote its upcoming international getaway trip to Tuscany. And it's all about tradition for the Fort Scott Kiwanis Club. Yesterday, the group hosted its annual Shrove Tuesday pancake feed for the 102nd year. Now, if you're curious about the significance of eating pancakes on Shrove Tuesday, it actually dates back about 1,500 years when Christians were banned from eating all meat and animal products during Lent, so they made pancakes to use up their eggs, milk, and butter.
It's a fellowship thing, it's a tradition that we do every year. This is Fat Tuesday. We started doing it on that, so it's just something the community, I think that we get good support from our corporate sponsors, and so it kind of reaches out to those people that work for different corporations, different companies in town.
Now, the Kiwanis provides funding for youth activities in the community like swimming passes and skating rink tickets. And some call it Mardi Gras, but it's also referred to as Shrove Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday, when the Lenten season of fasting begins. Now, last night, the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Frontenac hosted a Mardi Gras parish dinner. Attendees enjoyed New Orleans cuisine, bingo, and prizes.
Yeah, I think the emotions are high. There's always some anxiety with Lent. There's some fears. There's some excitement. There are people that love Lent. They like to suffer, There are people that don't like Lent because it's hard. We deny ourselves. We get in a daily practice of saying no to ourselves in some way, and that's hard.
The French name Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday, from the custom of using all the fats in the home before Lent in preparation for fasting and abstinence. Well, some Southwest Missouri students put their hard work up to the test of Mother Nature yesterday. Third graders in Nixa engineered houses to withstand natural disasters in honor of Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Now, the students predicted how their creations would hold up to wildfire, flooding, or dust storms. Now, then their teachers unleashed homemade weather to see how the models fared. Students say these experiments are a lot of fun, but their teachers know they're also learning a lot.
You could see people's houses fail and their reactions. They're like, oh no, dang it.
I think it's also not just about the science. They're learning so much through this. They're thinking critically, they're learning that empathy piece. They're having to be confident in the solutions that they are coming up with. So yes, it's awesome to build this house and see if it works, but there's so much more to it.
More students-made model homes will be put to the test today. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. 2 key ports near the Panama Canal are now under U.S. control after a $23 billion deal. And we have a cooler and windy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, well, for a second day, the market's taking a big hit as President Donald Trump enacts tariffs on the U.S.'s 3 biggest trade partners. Now, stocks tumbling as fears grow that these tariffs will impact the American economy. Jen Sullivan breaks down what could cost more.
The price of a wide array of items will likely be going up soon, everything from food to electronics. This comes as President Donald Trump's tariffs on 3 of America's biggest trade partners threaten a trade war, and caught in the middle could be American consumers.
There is no question that this is going to be hitting Americans in the next days, weeks, and months.
Goods coming from China will be subject to a 20% tariff, and goods coming from Canada and Mexico will be taxed 25%, with only a slim exemption for some Canadian energy products. Trump argues that open trade is costing Americans millions of jobs and says these tariffs will hopefully entice companies to move factories to the U.S.
What they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States.
Mexico is the largest supplier of fruit and vegetables to the U.S., according to the University of California, Davis. The country is a top provider of tomatoes, avocados, raspberries, bell peppers, and strawberries. These are just some of the grocery items that are expected to cost more for American consumers.
Consumer prices are going to go dramatically up. So this is going to take a big hit on the American economy.
The tariffs are triggering a flurry of reaction from leaders in all 3 countries.
We will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake.
Both Canada and China retaliating against the U.S. and announcing their own tariffs on American goods. Mexico's president says she would also announce retaliatory tariffs. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Well, 2 ports near the Panama Canal will soon be under U.S. control. Now, that's after the Hong Kong-based firm that owns the port struck a $23 billion deal to sell all of their shares to a group led by American investment company BlackRock. Now, President Donald Trump praised the deal during his joint address to Congress last night after weeks of pushing for the U.S. to take the canal back. Now, the deal also gives the BlackRock control interest for ports in 23 other countries, including Mexico, Egypt, and Australia. Now, Austin, Texas is now the latest city to shift into self-driving cars. Riders there can now hail a vehicle through Uber's partnership with Waymo. Now, the robo-taxi company already operates in Phoenix, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. The partnership between Uber and Waymo is expected to expand to the East Coast later this year in Atlanta. And Mattel has released its new line of Barbies celebrating friendship for International Women's Day. Among the duos honored are U.S. gymnastics gold medalist and teammates Jade Carey and Jordan Childs. Now, both women say they hope their dolls will inspire the next generation of female athletes. International Women's Day is March 8th. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to start with a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, still cloudy skies, but we will eventually start to see some clearing. The big thing for today is going to be the potentially damaging wind gusts that we could see out there. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line has actually gone down. And I'm kind of curious now as to why. We'll have to take a look at that. I guess power outages is going to be something we could be contending with yet again today with these winds gusting anywhere from 50 to 65 miles an hour. Now, the skies again will begin to clear, so we will see some sunshine. It just will not be very warm. We're going to be well below normal today with most of us hanging out into the 40s. And right now, it's still pretty cold. You factor in the wind, feels a little colder out there. But we're all into the 30s for the time being. We've got low and mid 30s across the region. So kids, get on the bus. Probably want that jacket. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies, northwest winds 30 to 35, and those gusts 50 to 65. And by the time the bus brings them home, clearing skies 44, still very windy, northwest winds 25, 35, gusts 50 to 65 continuing. Some good news is the winds will ease up a little later this evening, and overnight they'll actually become calm, which will be a nice break from all of this. We just have several hours before we get there. We'll talk more about that in the full forecast here in just a moment, and we're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. But first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Gail Kane. Coming up on CBS Mornings, veteran actor Tony Danza will be here in studio to talk with us about the new season of the hit drama Raising Kanan. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
All right, it is now time for some Wednesday birthdays here in the 4 states, starting in Pittsburgh with Cash Carlinger celebrating birthday number 12.
And in Columbus, a happy 21st birthday to Olivia Beard.
And in Oswego, Haley Mills celebrating birthday number 22. Happy birthday.
And a happy 70th birthday to Jerry Scheinmeer. It says here, happy birthday from your lovely wife.
And we've got William Bud James celebrating birthday number 95. Says happy birthday from your kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. And he is a retired Marine, so thank you for your service and a very happy 95th birthday.
And making our way to Carthage, a happy birthday to Glenda Dodson. It says here, happy birthday from your big sis and family.
And our list continues with Eric King and Chanute celebrating a birthday. Says, hope you have an amazing day. Love from all your family and friends.
And a happy birthday to Marilyn Morris in Columbus.
And we've got Pate White in Oswego celebrating another year wiser today. A great list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, we do love celebrating these with you. And if you'd like to celebrate with us, Elise has some information.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and those anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen when submitting, and to also include the date of your celebration as well.
Certainly want to include all of that information because it's extremely important information that you should share with us. All right, let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We've had those again gusty winds out there. We've got the potential for some damaging wind gusts. In fact, just not long ago, got a report of a 51-mile-an-hour wind gust in Chanute. So these winds are not messing around, and they will not be messing around throughout the entire day today. Moto camera 32nd and range line back up and running. Any number of reasons it could have been blanked out for a moment, but even if it wasn't related to the wind directly, look at that traffic pole shaking. The whole thing is moving. That's why even this camera is moving. Now these cameras are attached to the sturdier piece here. And if it's moving, you know it's windy. And that's the other side, is we're looking at that potential for damaging wind gusts, which also could lead to additional power outages in locations today. Even if they're brief, you still want to be prepared for that. And the wind is really the big story today. It's going to be colder than normal, but these winds will be with us all day long, or at least nearly all day. It's going to certainly feel like it. They're going to be relentless as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Now, by late evening and overnight, the winds ease up, and they eventually become calm overnight. And then they're going to pick up again tomorrow, but not as much. Cold start to our Thursday. Clouds will begin to increase, and the winds will start to pick up out of the south-southwest at about 20 miles an hour with those occasional gusts up there. But temperatures will be warmer, and 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts certainly beat 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, I think, any day of the week. While those mostly cloudy skies continue, we'll start to clear out Thursday night into Friday. Another breezy start. South winds still gusting out there Friday morning, but these winds as we head into the afternoon should begin to ease up a little bit for us. And so, well, again, it's still not expected to be anything like what we're seeing today. We have high wind warnings out there. Now, these ones expire at 9 a.m. These run through 6 this evening, and then wind advisories in Missouri run through 6 this evening, and in Oklahoma and Arkansas, these wind advisories run through noon today, and across the entire region, anywhere, again, from 50 to 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible. So, have a few remaining winter weather advisories. Still some light snow showers out there starting to exit our area. That's why some of the others have already been canceled. These still run through 9 a.m. But again, as the snow exits, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get canceled a little bit on the early side. As we go through the morning hours, again, it is going to be mostly cloudy. It is cloudy right now. But we'll start to get a little more sunshine. Temperatures, though, not moving much, hanging out right around the mid-30s, and so a bit on the cold side. Heading into the afternoon, again, the winds begin to, or will continue rather, to be extraordinarily gusty. Skies begin to clear, and most of us low to mid-40s, but some of our far western counties may see a little more sunshine, may see some clearing a little earlier, so you might be a little warmer than this, but you're still going to be below normal as you head into the afternoon hours. Now, by this evening, the skies will become clear, and after about 6, 7 o'clock, the winds ease up. Still a little bit breezy, but they'll continue to die down as we go through the evening and into the overnight hours, which is good because it's going to be very cold out there tonight. We're going to fall back into the upper 20s for our overnight lows. Now, tomorrow, again, still chilly, but not bad. Low to mid 50s. Not much drop-off going into Thursday night, which is what allows us to warm up even more so on Friday. And we get another cool day in here on Saturday, about 50. Some scattered showers possible. We head into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sunshine, nice temperatures out there. Maybe some showers next Wednesday, but that not bringing our temperatures down. So once we get past really today, we got a pretty nice spring-like warming trend on the horizon. Well, I'll have another recap of your forecast here in just a moment. We'll also discuss the news you need to know. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to see how a music shop in New York has become a living piece of music history.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A Carthage man is rushed to the hospital after suffering multiple gunshot wounds late Tuesday evening. It happened around 9:40 p.m. near the 400 block of South Orner Avenue. An adult male was found with multiple gunshot wounds, and the man was talking to first responders before being transported to Mercy Joplin. A suspect detained at the time, and police believe this was an isolated incident as both parties know each other. Well, the National Weather Service highlighted flood safety for Severe Weather Preparedness Week. The 4-state search and rescue chief reminds people that just 6 inches of swiftly moving water can knock someone off their feet, and a foot of water can sweep away some cars. Now, according to weather.gov, floods kill more people in the U.S. each year than any other thunderstorm-related hazard. And Argo Development partners along with the Miami Area Economic Development Service will host an open house for the Oklahoma Bioprocessing project near Quapaw. The open house will provide an overview of the project and give the public a chance to ask questions. The open house will take place Tuesday, March 11th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Miami Civic Center. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And a reminder, we have high wind warnings and wind advisories out there. Wind gusts today, damaging potential at 50 to 65 miles an hour through today. And just released from Springfield, Joplin, of the reporting stations they had the highest wind gusts last night at the airport of 60 miles an hour. So this wind is not messing around. It'll be cold today as well. Low mid 40s. Skies will eventually clear heading into the afternoon. It won't be until later this evening, but winds will begin to die down, becoming calm overnight. Clear skies back into the mid to upper 20s for our lows. A little warmer tomorrow, still breezy, but we're talking southwest winds gusting to 20, not 60, so slightly better. I'll be even warmer on Friday, a few showers Saturday, and then the warm weather returns heading into next week.
Righty. And coming up today at noon, we're making sour cream crowned fish fillets in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
As your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings, after 9 months in space, the return of 2 NASA astronauts could be happening soon. Coming up on CBS Mornings, hear what they have to say about claims by President Trump and Elon Musk that they were abandoned.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, a group of teen girls get the opportunity to learn coding at Amazon.
Plus, Ron McDonald House joining us in the studio with an invitation for to run for a good cause next weekend. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be seeing you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.